Welcome to the Disneyland Forever podcast, your source for all things from the happiest place on earth. For more updates, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Disneyland Forever, and you can check out our website, disneylandforever.com. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
It's Jordan.
And Daniel.
And Dan might be a little bit quieter than normal tonight.
You should be grateful that I can talk at all. We were planning contingencies in case I couldn't, because my ear, nose, throat doctor ripped out half of the back of my throat.
What's the normal way of saying that?
Or it's called a tonsillectomy.
There you go. But he's actually doing pretty good. If he would actually listen to what the doctors and nurses told him to do for the aftercare, he'd be doing much better. But in case you were wondering, doctors make horrible patients.
Yes, I even admit that.
And yet, you don't change what you do.
No.
That's been most of our week, has just been making sure that he's staying recovered from that. But and also not melting in the horrid heat.
Yep, Salt Lake had its hottest day ever recorded in the history of recording weather data. It's over 150 years, and it was 109 degrees.
It was warmer in Salt Lake City than it was in St. George or Las Vegas.
Yep.
And if people are like, I don't understand that part of the country, that never happens.
Nope. Las Vegas this time of year is usually in like 109, 110.
Well, to be fair, it's not like we were 20 degrees hotter than they were.
No.
We were just a few. But the fact that we're usually like 10 or 15 degrees cooler than them.
Yep.
And that's
not
what happened. Mm-mm. So, yay, we're winning the contest that we didn't want to win. So, yay for us. That's been about it. We're trying not to melt. So we're just trying to make sure that he's not dying, that Dan's not dying.
Yeah.
You know, and then we're good otherwise. So, now, since this week, actually the day after this comes out, July 17th, is Disneyland's 71st birthday, we wanted to do something a little bit more focused on just like the park and appreciating the park. And so we decided, let's talk about what it's like, or recommendations on what to do if you are going to Disneyland with a non-Disney person or a non-Disney park person.
Yep. Someone who doesn't enjoy life.
Basically. Have we ever really gone with non-Disney people? I don't know if that's ever really been the case.
My friend Mandy,
But she does like some Disney things.
She likes some things, but she was very anti-Disneyland because she had a bad taste in her mouth. So,
but that was different.
Yeah.
So that's easy enough to fix because you just need a good experience.
Not necessarily people who just like flat out aren't big Disney fans, but there are people out there.
There are many out there, and I know that a lot of you have been asking us, like, how do you recommend that we go about it? There's no one size fits all, obviously, because everyone's a little bit different. But this is how. And again, I should, like we mentioned. Well, we'll get to it. There's a whole lot to talk about it today, but we will get into that and other things like that. So we do have some new reviews that some of you guys sent in.
Yes, there still aren't any new ones on Apple, but thankfully people heeded us and said, or sent in some that they'd already done, or just because, like this one today, it's because she,
Just say who it's from, and it'll self-explain.
It explains it. So it's from Susie. She said, I'm a Spotify listener and wanted to share my 5-star review. As a Walt Disney World East Coast fan, I came across your podcast when I was preparing for my first Disneyland visit in 2021. You all made my visit so much better and less stressful. I now blame you for a yearly visit to Disneyland and can't thank you enough for planting the little Disneyland resort seed in my heart. Keep up the amazing work. It matters, and you are great at it. Well, you're welcome.
Yay.
For slightly converting you.
I will very much accept blame for your annual Disney trip.
Disneyland.
Sorry, Disneyland trip. Your annual Disneyland trip.
I'm assuming they still go to Disney World.
Anyway.
Who knows?
Again, people, we do love Disney World.
Yes, you can do both.
But obviously, for so many reasons, we do California. Thank you for sending that in. We do appreciate it. As we know that there's, I don't know, I even check to see are there other places that you can, because I know not everyone listens on Apple. And that's hard when not everybody listens on Apple to be able to.
That's why I said steal people's Apple devices.
It doesn't have to be an Apple device. I think you can log in on anything.
So,
it's easier on an iPhone or an iPad. But anyway, thank you so much for sending in. We're grateful that you've been listening for such a long time. Yeah. I can't believe you were listening 2021.
Jeez.
We were not good then.
No. We are very sorry.
So hopefully you don't think back and remember like, remember when they were really awkward.
And
about
remember,
everything.
as we've said, if you are crazy enough to want to listen to old ones, go on some smaller podcast app or website, and they're on there.
We have had people say, like, we've listened to all the ones that are on Apple or on Spotify. I'm like, yes, there's others. If you do want to go back and find them, go on, like...
Podbean is
that's
what we
our
use.
official, like, hoster is Podbean, but I think some of the other ones, like iHeartRadio and things like that, they'll actually keep the whole library, whereas the larger ones, like Spotify or Audible or Apple, will only keep, like, I think the most recent 100.
I think it's 100, yep.
So that's the other thing about it. But again, thank you for leaving that. If you haven't done so yet, though, we would really appreciate you going through and leaving us a 5-star rating on Apple, Spotify, or Audible. And you can still leave that 5-star rating on 5-star review, 5-star review on Apple. And we would love to see those. We want to keep reading these out.
Yes, please.
So
thank you.
Thank you, guys. Because we also see this as a great way to just kind of easy way for us to say thank you. And then you get a little shout out every week. Yay. Okay, so for news, like I mentioned last week, we're not expecting any news that's like huge, that's earth-shattering until D23, or at least close to it, because that's just what they do, especially since this week they announced that the Disney Experiences panel is going to be hosted by Neil Patrick Harris. So they're definitely holding some big cards,
Does
apparently.
he ever age?
He's starting to age a little bit, but I think
1 year of him
I like
is
to meet
like
someone
20
who doesn't.
of ours.
Yes. I'd like to meet someone who doesn't like him,
Yeah.
because I think it's impossible.
I think it's pretty much impossible.
I think you can single-handedly thank him for making LGBTQ community more like well-liked. So people found out he was gay and they're like, maybe this is good.
I used to watch Doogie Howser MD when I was a child.
I did not. But I
I
knew
don't
who
think
he
you were
was.
born yet. Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway. Okay, so the news that we do have. First of all, something small that we forgot to mention a few weeks ago, actually. If you remember, there was this change in the policy on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway where cast members would actually not let you start the ride unless all your devices and everything was out of your hands and like put away in bags before the ride began. They have since quietly stopped enforcing that. We don't know why. Honestly, I am a little concerned that they stopped.
Yeah, no, it just says, please put away all belongings on a sign.
Yes, but they used to like stop you and say,
Yeah.
we're not pressing go until you put everything away.
The main reason why they did it is because if something falls on the track, it can shut the ride down for quite a while.
Yep.
So just put your stuff away, or at least be very, very careful and don't drop your stuff out of the car. But
Whatever the reason why they're doing it, I don't understand it. But so that's quietly been abandoned. I would still recommend putting your stuff away because it's a little jerky of a ride. Even if you're used to it, it's a little jerky. Okay, I'll do it this first. Oddly enough, today they did the formal opening of that new Earl of Sandwich location. Even though it's been open for over a week, they only just, the day we're recording this, officially did the grand opening. And the funny thing about it, I was trying to like look in the pictures, like, who is this? The 12th Earl of Sandwich came all the way out to Anaheim for the ribbon cutting of the new Earl of Sandwich.
do they own it?
No,
It's just random?
he's the 12th, the actual person who holds the title of Earl of Sandwich. He showed up
That's so
at the
funny.
opening of the restaurant Earl of Sandwich. I guess it's
Cheerio.
I'm guessing it must be like their flagship location or something. I don't know. But so that's kind of funny.
I dubbed this sandwich edible.
Yes, I'm sure that's what he was there to do. He threw a bottle of champagne at the building.
Yeah, probably.
It's seaworthy. That's not seaworthy. And then the Carnaby also opened this week. This is the Gordon Ramsay restaurant operated by Earl of Sandwich.
It's very strange. Very strange. They're both British. Gordon Ramsay and
Yes. So they had the formal opening of that. The thing that I never thought through about it is that most Gordon Ramsay restaurants are more fine dining, and so it's not uncommon for them to have like a dress code. The Carnaby does not have that. It is considered more casual dining.
like none at all. Usually
They don't have any dress code. Nope. Well, I mean, there's other ones we've been to that
it's a little looser, yeah.
that don't have much of a dress code at all. In fact, I think like Gordon Ramsay Burger and
maybe.
Gordon Ramsay Pub and Grill, I don't think they have a dress code at all. So it's more like those. I was looking through the menu. It's obviously got some sandwiches, which Gordon Ramsay doesn't usually have sandwiches, but it's because it's by Earl of Sandwich. So they do have some upscale sandwiches. They do have steaks. They have the famous Gordon Ramsay beef Wellington.
So good.
they
If that's your
have-
only opportunity to have beef Wellington, go for it.
Yes,
But
although apparently they only make a limited amount a day.
Yeah.
And so that's why if you look at reservations on OpenTable, because I think that's the only place you can get them, is OpenTable, not through the app. There's a reason why the lunch reservations are gone and the dinner reservations are still available, because people know if you go earlier in the day, you're almost guaranteed to get a beef Wellington. If you go in the evening, they might be sold out.
Interesting. I always wondered that, even at the regular restaurants, like the ones in Vegas, because I'm sure there's a finite number because they take so much preparation, but evidently that finite number is quite high.
Apparently. Well, they know that it's the number one thing
Oh,
ordered.
yeah, for sure.
So there's that. I will say I was looking through the menu as well for the pricing to give you an idea of like what to
It's
expect.
a lot of money.
It actually isn't.
Well, some things.
It varies wildly. They go from entrees that are like somewhere in the mid 20s to as much as $73, $79, depending on what you're ordering. So you could either go and eat there and spend like you would the amount you would at like a normal just restaurant around the corner, or you could make it a really fancy night out. It just depends on what you order.
I mean, California restaurants can be expensive anyway, so yeah, it's not too bad for some of the cheaper stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, it does get up to the higher end. Like, so the beef Wellington is like,
Yeah,
it's
$70.
$73.
Yeah.
So do expect, it's pricey. But then some of the other sandwiches they have are like $28, $29. So, and they still come with sides and everything. So that's just kind of to give you a little perspective on that one. Also, Disney has unfortunately raised almost all of their food and drink options, the prices.
It was kind of inevitable. Everything's expensive with food, but
Yeah, as this one, I don't really blame Disney. I mean, I know you'd be like, well, they could be able to eat some of this. Like, they can.
sort of.
They're going to choose not to.
Yeah.
They could if they wanted to, and they choose not to because everything is getting more expensive, and they just are realizing we need to raise prices. And unfortunately, to give you an example, churros were $5.75. They're now $6.25.
Oh, really?
Everything went up. I think everything went up at least 25 cents. Most went up around 50 cents, but some went up $1 or more. It depended on what you got. Kids menu items, some of those went way up.
So that means Dasani bottles are now like $300?
First of all, the last time we saw a Dasani bottle price, it was less than $4.
I know, but it's still ridiculous. You can
Well,
get-
at one point they were $4.50, and then they brought them down to less
yeah,
than
they did,
$4.
yeah.
I think because they knew no one was buying them, and so they
bring water bottles from home, people.
Yeah. So unfortunately, the prices are rising everywhere. There's another reason why, if you were asked, do you think this year Disney's going to be raising ticket prices, even though it seems like attendance is down?
Probably.
They probably will be. I think it'll be modest again, just like last year. But yeah.
We'll see.
Well, at this point, I would say yes. Last thing, and this is fun, is that they did do a teaser for a new villain joining Oogie Boogie Bash. It does appear very much to be Yzma.
Yes. It wasn't much of a tease. It was like, this is Yzma.
Not really. I mean, yeah.
You can tell it's
I think I was overthinking it because I'm like, okay, potion bottles that are pink and purple, okay, a feather, okay. It couldn't possibly just be as simple as Yzma, could it?
Yes.
And I was I'm like, yeah, it seems like it's Yzma. I hope that it's done well. Every time that they're like, oh, we're going to do a character, this new character, I'm like, remember, this has to be a face character. They have to be able to interact. Hopefully they can do it well. That poor actor's voice is going to be so sore trying to imitate Eartha Kitt.
Yeah.
But
Unless they have Eartha Kitt do it.
she's a little dead.
Oh,
So I don't think she's
maybe
going to.
maybe not then.
I'm pretty sure she's dead.
I think so, because
I'm
wasn't
pretty
she?
she's very old. She was very old
Wasn't
in
she
the early 2000s.
Didn't we watch Holes?
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
she was
she's
in
very
Holes.
old.
Yeah. I looked
Even
her
when
up,
she
yeah.
did Yzma, she's very old.
Yep.
But it's also interesting. This is the first time they'll only tease just one character,
Yep.
not more than one. And we have no idea if this is an addition, if this is a replacement. We don't know. You never know who they're going to be
Or
replacing.
the only one.
Until
Just
until the end. Sometimes they will give like an official head count before the parties start. Sometimes they don't. Also, speaking of Oogie Boogie Bash, there are only 6 dates that are sold out right now. I know people might say like, oh, so demand is down. Like, I think it's because prices have gone up everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And people are picking and choosing what they're going to do.
Is that the word? Scrimp?
Yeah, scrimp and save.
Yep.
So I think they're picking and choosing, and they're not choosing Oogie Boogie Bash this year. So if you do want to go, you probably still have your option of nights.
Just not Halloween.
Not Halloween. That did sell out really fast. But at this point, 6 nights. That's it. Okay. So let's get into our main topic for today. And like we mentioned, it's going to the parks with a non-Disney person.
Like we said, if you happen to know people who don't like Disney, we're very sorry.
First of all,
you should
condolences.
rethink your relationship. It could be family, I guess, which you can't really choose them.
Yeah. Although I know some of these people have reached out on like Instagram. It's usually like their spouses.
Yeah, that's true.
Or their like significant others of some way, and but they don't really love it, and I love it.
I've had coworkers and friends with similar stuff.
So have I. And like I mentioned before, we have never taken anybody who is like not a Disney person to Disneyland, because obviously why would they want to come
There's
with
different
us?
levels of Disney
But
fandom,
we've never taken non.
No.
And so it could be like, oh, so you don't have any personal experience. We've had discussions with people who are not Disney people,
Yeah.
and they suddenly understood a little bit better why we like this.
Right. In general, like some of my friends and coworkers, they kind of compromise, saying like, if you'll go with me to Disneyland, I'll go with you like on a fishing trip or whatever, like something you like to do. So that's
I've also had some close friends who have taken people for whatever reason who are not Disney people to the parks, and then they shared their experience of like, this is what worked, and now they're a huge Disney fan, and they're very ready to go.
They often convert. Or especially if you're in California, like you can go to the beach one day, or go shopping another day, or do Universal Studios another day. So
I know there's a lot of people that say like, well, they were only agreed to come one day. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. You need to convince them. You have to tell them
this is a 2-day thing.
This is a 2-day thing minimum.
Yeah.
For your first time, 2-day minimum. Otherwise, they're not going to have fun.
You can do it in one day, but it's
be
very
hard
difficult.
Or very expensive.
Yep.
If you're willing to spend all the money in the world, sure. So here's what we would say. And this is also just coming from my experience of like when I was teaching, like how do I get students, junior high kids, to do
things that they don't like to do,
things that they don't want to do. And this is kind of the direction that I go with that. So first of all, you need to figure out, okay, they're not into Disney. So
why?
what are they into?
Right. It could be just that they had a bad experience as a child or never went, and they're like, I'm an adult, why should I care? Or like maybe they don't want to meet characters, or they want only thrill rides. Well, there are still thrill rides.
Yeah, like if they say, well, I do like thrill rides, you're going to want to make sure that you make the thrill rides at Disneyland a priority.
For sure.
Make sure you take them on Guardians. Make sure you take them on the Incredicoaster. Make sure you take them on Rise.
Or maybe they get motion sick really easy, and so they're worried and be like, well, there's a lot of attractions that don't make you motion sick, or just if you want to go eat or people watch or stuff. So
yeah, so try to figure out, try to find the common ground of, okay, so they are into these sorts of experiences. Is there anything at Disneyland that can meet those expectations, and so that there's actually something that they could look forward to?
Yep.
That maybe they're not looking forward to all of Disneyland, but they can look forward to a couple of things,
and be willing to let them like go and do their own thing. It's like, okay, I'm Disneyed out for the day, I'm going to go to the pool or something. That'd be fine with that.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Okay, so along the same lines, is there anything Disney at all that they are into? Are there some Disney movies that they do have a connection to? Are they a Star Wars person? Are they a Marvel person?
Disney's now expanded so much.
Are they just an Indiana Jones person?
Yeah, it could be.
Is there anything in the Disney universe that they actually are interested in?
It is a very wide net now, so.
And then just make sure to focus on that. Make sure, and not saying like to a ridiculous degree, but say that they are a Star Wars person. Then make sure that the first thing that you do is go to Galaxy's Edge. Yeah. Not rope dropping anything. I would just say, just take them there. Enjoy it. I've talked to people who, they're not the biggest Disney fans, but they're big Star Wars fans, and they still love Galaxy's Edge.
The ambiance and the way they put together Galaxy's Edge is just amazing.
Yeah, so they're still going to love it, I promise you. And just let them have that experience of just walking around and feeling like they really are there. That's just an example. Maybe they are into Marvel, and I bet you that they're going to suddenly like meeting characters. They are into Marvel and are in Avengers Campus.
Now, Avengers Campus in general is not shaded and meh.
And under construction.
And still under construction. But there's still a lot of stuff that can cater.
Depending.
Depending on what you want.
But that's just like an idea. Maybe and like I said, maybe there is a Disney movie that did mean a lot to them as a kid. Maybe they did grow up loving Peter Pan. So then you're going to want to make Peter Pan a priority.
Usually we would suggest not, but yeah.
You never know. So just figure out from them, is there anything that they can have a connection with, and go from there. And maybe it's not going to be a ride. Maybe it is some show that you go see. Maybe they always they like the idea of like sailing ships. And so you take them on the sailing ship Columbia.
And that's just kind of a chill thing to do anyway.
Maybe they're a nerd in another way, and they like the 19th century America, so you can go on the Mark Twain.
Yeah.
That is such a niche thing, and I would
probably.
Love to hear if there's anyone listening to this. Like, I know exactly the person who would love this.
That is the thing.
And then I'd be like, oh,
all right,
that is super unique to you, but go for it. Okay, another thing when you're planning for them, you have to understand that for you, going from rope drop to park close is
15 hours is doable for you.
That's just that for you. This is how I operate when I'm at Disney. They're not going to be the same gung-ho. So chances are you need to pick one. What's more important to you, rope dropping or staying late?
You probably need to do one or the other.
Not both.
As much as I love Disneyland, as much as I'm a huge Disney fan, I get so tired after a Disney trip. But it's kind of a good tired. If they're not a huge Disney fan, they'll be like, I hate everything. So
yeah,
don't wear them out too much.
And obviously let them be part of that conversation. Let them decide which would you rather do, sleep in or stay really late. And whatever they decide,
both can be productive, but try to convince them of the rope dropping. I
would prefer that too. I would suggest it more, but and you can make the argument. But if they say I'd rather stay late, then you just need to go with that. Give them that win so they feel like they have a little bit more say.
Definitely.
Lean into more of those adult experiences. And when we say adult experiences, I'm not just saying take them to the Lamplight Lounge or to Oga's. Not just those. Obviously, they might be into that. Maybe that's going to be their vibe.
But still, there's like so many wines to try, so many beers to try. Like,
take them, make dining reservations, but make them like that is the experience. And I'm not just talking about not just Blue Bayou. If you can make Blue Bayou work, that's great.
Napa Rose is a great one, or the Carthay Circle, because it's going to be a 2-hour experience. So if they like to just kind of take it slow, have a chill sit down time, those are both great.
Yeah, make it part of the experience that you guys go to a restaurant. Maybe it's something at downtown Disney. Maybe it's not even something in the parks. Maybe it's something at downtown Disney. But it can be maybe it's going to be a good reset for them. And then they can see, oh, if I do come with you, not every minute of the day is going to be Disney. That there's other things that we can do that are going to be fun, but not like ramming Disney down their throat if that's not their thing. Yeah, I think that's the best way I can explain that one.
That's a good way to explain it. Something that could be interesting to some people, depending on if they're not into amusement parks in general, but they do love history, or they love architecture, or they love just unique things, and because Disneyland's a part of American history. It's old. It's
71 years old.
71 years old today, tomorrow, whenever. And the architecture is unique. You could be a tour guide to them, or you can go on a VIP tour. And
again, if you have that money.
Yeah, I mean the ones that just show you around aren't that crazy.
Oh,
expensive.
those ones. You mean just the regular tours?
Is that what? Oh, yeah, not the VIP. Sorry, just like the regular tours. Yeah, because there's so many different angles that you can approach Disneyland to, and definitely like history and architecture are very unique ones that don't have to be like the normal ride type stuff.
Yeah, like. Maybe you do definitely want to point out to them the petrified tree. I'd be like, no, this is a real petrified tree.
You can talk about how it's not really gifted.
The plaque on it is actually not accurate because the Disney family kind of did that on purpose via
tongue in cheek.
And you can point out other things like there are movie props in Guardians of the Galaxy in the queue. There's not real movie props, but you could be like, do you recognize where this is from? There are historical elements to the park. Maybe it is going to see great moments with Mr. Lincoln, talking more about that. And then, like we said, just pointing out, like, do you see everything that they did here and how cool it is? I love pointing out to people the Tiki Room that, like, look at the roof. Do you realize this is the same building that the Jolly Holiday is part of? but they built it in such a way where you can't see the thatched roofing from the Jolly Holiday, and you can't really see the Victorian architecture from Adventureland.
Yeah.
And unless you look, and then you'd be like, oh, that's kind of cool. Those sorts of things. There's also the fact that, like, in like a design element, the animation building in Hollywoodland, if you're in Avengers Campus, that's the building that has the big PIM sign on the side. It says PIM Technologies.
Uh-huh.
Because they knew they couldn't hide the building, so they made it look like it's part of the PIM test kitchen. It's not. It's a completely different building.
Gotta go with it. Yep.
Or in Cars Land around Luigi's Rollickin' Roadsters, the big building that says, like, right next to the queue on the outside, it says, like, it makes it look like it's covered in Cars like billboards, but it's the building where they are building Avengers Infinity Defense. So it's those sorts of things you can point out, like, look, they thought through this to keep sightlines.
Yeah.
Because Disneyland cares about sightlines.
Unlike Disney World, but that's okay.
Don't force these people into anything. If they say they are not interested in doing something, don't force them into it.
Yeah, you don't want to possibly diminish anything that you're trying to, like, quote unquote force on them. But if they, like a teenager perhaps, that's like, I don't want to go to Disneyland, there's nothing exciting. Yeah, there's exciting stuff. Don't force them on the little kids rides if they don't want to. But yeah, just kind of figure out what they're into and try to stick to it.
The minute that you start forcing anybody to do something that they really just don't want to do, they're going to start digging in their heels. And
that just makes it unenjoyable for anyone anyway.
It's less likely they're going to enjoy something, even if it's something they would have otherwise liked. Then just be careful with that. Hold off on the dark rides for a little bit.
Yeah.
They're probably, especially if it's adults.
They're definitely not thrilling. They're definitely not... Yeah, they're fun, but they're kind of a unique type of fun for people who love Disney in general. So
the closest thing I'd say to
Peter Pan, maybe.
Taking people on a dark, quote, it's not even a dark ride. The closest thing, it just came to my mind, like, if you know that they're going to appreciate humor, take them to Turtle Talk with Crush.
Yeah.
Yes, it's aimed at kids, but if you've never been in there, they don't just tell jokes for kids.
It's fun.
They have fun with the adults too, and it doesn't even have to be that you're a person, whoever you're bringing, has to interact with them. But you can just tell them, like, it's a fun, interactive show. Yes, it's aimed at kids, but they let them know they don't just aim at kids. It is fun for everybody. In fact, a lot of the jokes go over the kids' heads. They don't even understand why it's funny. But it's entertaining because you can also appreciate this. These people are riffing on the spot.
Yep.
And that makes it fun. And so that would be something that I would still recommend they do. But if they're just like, I don't feel like going on Little Mermaid, don't take them on Little Mermaid. If they're not really feeling Mr. Toad, don't go Mr. Toad.
I wouldn't push Small World on someone.
No.
You know what's so funny? One of my coworkers went for their first time. We got them tickets. And she told me all about it. And she's like, she said she was with her sister and then a friend. And they're like, we're just walking around and just enjoying everything. And then we're like, oh, what's this ride? It only has a 5-minute wait. It's called, like, Small World or something. She's like, that was interesting. I was like, yeah.
That one, it makes more sense with context.
Yeah. So that was kind of funny.
So, I mean, that's just some of the ideas, I'd say. Like, and maybe you're going to be able to talk them into it. Maybe as the trip goes on, maybe they're going to be like, all right, let's go on one of these things, and then pick wisely.
One thing I just thought of to try to maybe spark some love is if they haven't seen particular movies, maybe like watch a movie as a family together.
Something that you think that they'll like.
Yeah, that has tie-ins to Disneyland or like a rides based on or something. So that'd be kind of a way to
show them some of the new Mickey shorts on Disney Plus and be like, because they're really zany and they're really not aimed at kids.
And short.
They're aimed at adults and teenagers. Honestly, they are. And then if they really enjoy that, then you can be like, there's a ride at Disneyland that's based all on these.
They just did it because of that.
Now, the number one thing that's going to work, the number one thing is that you need to be honest and share your why. Explain why. Share your story. So this actually goes back to like the number one thing that I would tell everyone when I was teaching, because everyone's always like, "Oh, you taught junior high? Why would you ever do that? That's an awful age." I'm like, first of all, no, they're not.
He actually liked it. Yep.
Like, first of all, no, those kids are amazing.
They're crazy.
But there was never a time that I had an issue really getting kids to follow like the general rules of the classroom, as long as I could give them a why. maybe they didn't necessarily agree with it, but when they could see, okay, this isn't just like some random thing just because it's not arbitrary, then they'd go along with it and they were more willing to comply. And really the same principle applies to when you're trying to get people to, when you're trying to invite someone into something that means so much to you. You need to explain to them why. You can't just assume they're obviously going to see it. They're obviously going to get it, and they're going to feel the same as me, and we're going to live happily ever after, and everything's wonderful and great.
It may not happen.
I mean, it could.
Could.
I've seen it happen. Mm-hmm. My sister and her husband, that was what happened with him the first time he went. She drug him, and now they go all the time. And it's his idea. Make
sure you sob a lot.
Can you cry on demand?
If so, use it. No, just kidding.
But I mean, for all of us, I'm sure, Dan, you're the same way, that a lot of the love that we have for Disney parks comes back to childhood memories. That we look back and we're like, I remember going here. Like, for me, the reason I love Star Tours is I remember that was the first big ride that my mom could convince me to go on because I was so afraid to go on everything else. And I started falling in love with Disneyland because she actually started by telling me how it worked. That she's like, no, we're not going anywhere. It'll make you feel like you're going somewhere, but you're not actually going to go. We're not going to leave the building.
We don't?
And then
You just ruined the whole thing for me.
And then when we got off, I was just so amazed at how realistic it felt that I believed her and I knew that that was true. But I'm like, wow, they created magic. That is so cool. And then from that point on, I just really was looking for those sorts of moments. And that's one of the things that I really set off my love of the magic that Disneyland creates.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And it's, you kind of want to try to find out like what their reservations are or why, just like why they may not want to go to it. Is it because of money? Is it because they've never really been to something like this? They've never been to Disneyland before.
They probably don't have any of this background that you have.
Yeah. Well, and I've said before, what's so interesting with me and my parents going to Disney World every year, my mom, both of my parents hate animated movies for some reason. No idea why. Except for my mom loved Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and then she just loved some of the attractions. I think she just kind of grew to like it. She did not tag along as long as my dad and I did. We would stay till like 2 a.m. at the Magic Kingdom sometimes during the extra magic hours. But you have to kind of just find out what people like. My mom, one of the things she really loved that they don't do anymore was the Disney Institute. So she took classes about like cooking and about Disney architecture and stuff, and she absolutely loved that, and that was the reason she kept going. So
there's still times where like we'll point out, like I'll say like I want to go on this ride because I still remember like when we go on Snow White, I always just think about when my oldest sister still to this day screams her head off every time she sees the Evil Queen.
Yes.
And there's rides that all the time that we go on because that you're like, my mom loved this. Mm-hmm. Or like when they announced Soarin' Across America, you're like, oh, my mom would love that ride.
She would have her Mickey Star Spangled shirt on going on it.
She would have loved it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's because we have... And I'm sure those who are listening to this, you're the same way. You have this background. You have those stories. These people you're bringing along, they don't have that. But if you share and are open and honest about, like, this is why I like this. This is the memory that I have. This is what it means to me and why I love this. Then that's welcoming them in.
It might soften them a little bit.
Well, because then they can understand, like, oh, okay, so that's why you like this. That it's not that the only thrills you enjoy are ones at 2 miles an hour. It's that there's something else to it.
Yeah.
And that welcomes them in and they can be part of that story. And then when you share that story again later, they'll be like, they're like, hey, I have context and I know what you're talking about. It's a really great way to open up and let them know. And then you guys can start building those memories together. And so, I mean, I'm assuming that you're coming with someone that you like and that you intend to see more often.
That's what I said. If you have the ability to cut these people off in your life, if they're not family, do so.
I mean, why are you still with them? I mean, they're just like...
If they hate Disney, that's a red flag. Murders people, hates Disney. That's all the same.
It's the same thing. So really, you're just a saint for staying with them for this long and just long suffering. But honestly, I hope that this helps you guys out a little bit. Like I said, this is not a one size fits all situation.
Definitely not.
Oh, you know what? I just realized we have been with someone who is not like the biggest fan of Disney, but his husband has been working on it.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
And so he already has a little. He's starting to turn around.
Yep.
Like he says yes more and more often. His husband is like, "Let's go this year." He goes, all right. That was actually another idea. Like with our friends that we went with last Halloween, one of them's not into Disney that much, and so his Oogie Boogie Bash costume wasn't Disney.
Was Luigi.
And we're like,
why not?
You know what? We're not going to push it.
Doesn't matter.
You're coming. You're happy. You're excited. You wear your Luigi. That's great.
You look weird.
Actually, he looked good. Yeah. And he built up. Everything was awesome. Anyway, so that's what I want to talk about this week. If any of you are in the parks this week, we are slightly jealous. We've been to Disneyland's birthday once. I do not want to go on a big major year ever.
Can you imagine
too many people?
Can you imagine its 100th?
Oh my gosh, no.
In 29 years, that'll be nuts.
Oh, yeah, the 75th is going to be absolutely crazy, and I don't want to be there for that because there's just too many people. But, that's just me. So, yeah, that's it for this week. Make sure, if you haven't booked your trip yet, there are still a lot of really great deals going on with our friends at Getaway Today, so you can use the link in the description to book through them, both tickets or hotels or both. They're great.
And follow us on Instagram and Facebook if you don't already so far.
And subscribe to the podcast to get new episodes as they drop. And then we will see you guys next week, and hopefully your voice is even a little bit better.
Yes.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.